This photo of a spotted deer has gone viral on Facebook, and people were very intrigued whether it's real or not. Some people believe that it was indeed an actual deer, but some said that it was edited and photoshopped. And in this episode, we will find out if it's real or fake. Only here on
Bisan asaman, malupatalagan. Way di mabasta magkuyog tang duha. Baklay lang ta guys.
As you can see, the photo of a spotted deer was taken at Danapa Nature Reserve, Bayawan City. Danapa Nature Reserve is the place that welcomes captive and endangered animals to adapt and rehabilitate in the environment, and is one of the remarkable projects in Negros Oriental for Forest and Wildlife Conservation of Bayawan City, LGU. This photo could have been fake if it was taken anywhere, but since it was sighted at Danapa Nature Reserve, it is no doubt that the spotted deer is real. Bayawan City is the first to release this critically endangered Visayan spotted deer in the wild here in the Philippines. If you're still not convinced with the spotted deer, let me show you the big 5 endemic animals that are now feeling the comfort of home at Danapa Nature Reserve. This is the warty pig, bleeding heart pigeon, Visayan spotted deer, Visayan tariktik hornbill or tularik. With Danapa identified as the new sanctuary of this endemic species, the more reasons for our city to double its effort to assure the protection and widen this animal's habitat. As what our beloved Mayor Pride Henry A. Teves said, they are finally here and more soon to arrive.
Kita tagbaboyra mo ba yung manunay ra kami tagan. Narang kid sa ano? Out. Again, you got to do. Yeah. Mga Discovery Channel. Ay, wala. Tigay na rin. Wala na.
Una ilagay na yung piki ka no. Tanawon sa manday na. Piki na day. Muna yung tinuod na spotted deer. Nadyan na pero sa Danapa.
Morning.
This is the first in the Philippines, first in the world to do a spotted deer release of captively bred animals. Hindi siya rehabbed, hindi siya rescued. This is captively bred, and your area here in Danapa is the first to welcome this animal release. So as we had earlier clapped our hands. We will continue to do this for the next several years ahead. So I'll have a brief message. You know, as the voice said, this is 30 years in the making. It's a tough agenda to do a release of these animals. So that's why it took us 30 years to do so. There is science involved. There is community education involved. There is also the protection involved. So all of these things are things that we need to manage and take care of in the next few years as we do this endeavor. Talarak Foundation, along with your mayor, decided that it's time to do this. Because if we're not going to do this now, when are we going to do it? We've waited 30 years to do this.
Ug makahinumdum mo sama atong mga lagsa ug baboy halas muni siya mga langgam sa una nga daghan diri sa atong lugar pero karon wala na, halos extinct na sa atong lugar. Talarak Foundation was able to breed them in captivity. Ang ako rang hangyo kay galibot naman meron ga information campaign nami with our religious sector, with our faith community, with our barangay officials, and of course hopefully with the DepEd ato gining information campaign nga kung pwede dili nato ni hilabtan, ato ni silang palanggaon. Let's allow them to repopulate and enjoy our place together with us human beings para mudaghan sila. Kay ako nang i-remind ninyo, kining mga langgama halos wala na ni. Kanang atong bleeding heart pigeon in the wild, murag 50 na lang kabuk na bilin somewhere in Panay, nowhere else in the world. Kana pong atong talarak nga supposedly daghan na sa talalak. Almost 2 years namin gabutang og night camera sa talalak. Talusit na lang amo nakitaan, wala na gyud talarak. No? So kining hornbill or talarak naaman taan in captivity also. When we release this, let's give them a chance to survive and multiply again in number. Para nga 5-6 years from now sa atong lugar, makita na muglagsaw nga kasuroy-suroy, babuyalas kasuroy-suroy, ug lain-laing klaseng mga langgam nga kasuroy-suroy nga wala na sa laing lugar. Kabalo mo sa akong lantaw, mao ni pinakagwapo or legacy nga proyekto nga atong nahimo compared to all. Because kini nga project, this is for the next generation nga dili laman kay mo enjoy na lang sila aning mga God's given creations sa libro na lamang og sa internet og sa videos. At least in Bayawan, the next generation will be able to look at it and enjoy it and appreciate it in the wild where they should belong. Ibayaw ang Bayawan.
Long-term plan naton is padagano ng aton nga mga hayop, i-improve naton ang aton nga forest kag aton nga environment for the animals. Now obviously makita man nato nga ang mga trees diri dili pa kayo dagko. Young pa man kayo ni nga forest kay refo man siya 10-15 years old pa lang. So we will add more endemic and native tree species to improve the biodiversity sang place nini. And magsige pa kita educate sa communities kay para eventually madako pagid ang area. Especially mag-abot ng aton nga langgam, so they will not be confined anymore to the park. Ang langgam will be going around man the area. So we will continue to improve the habitats even outside the park itself. Salamat kayo to the mayor, to the council, to the vice mayor, to everybody involved, and to the Bayawan LGU and the Bayawan community. So thank you so much for giving an opportunity to the animals to have a safe home, a safe habitat for them to live, to multiply, and for us locals, Filipinos, to be able to experience the animals not anymore in cages but in their natural setting. So,
And the neighboring barangays are in cooperation with defending this endemic species and leaving us these messages.
Isip kapitan pud sa barangay Kalumbuyan, amo tabang gud may pagdepensa ng atong hayop nga atong ibuy andre karang mga wild nga atong ibuy andre kay ang importante nga magdaghan na sila dire nga lipay gikurong muntaga. So ako pasalamat ko sa atong mga official sa Bayawan, labi na gud ka mayor, ka vice mayor, sa ilan ni board member, no, ug ni congressman nga diin na-put up nato ni ang project dire while ongoing atong project dire na anapud may nanatay makita nga mga wild animals dire sa sitio Danapa.
The development of the Danapa Nature Reserve project. This project will certainly put Bayawan City in the map. Our big 5 endemic animals are now at our Danapa Nature Reserve project. These are the warty pig, bleeding heart pigeon, this is critically endangered, the Visayan spotted deer, the Visayan tarictic hornbill or tularik. With the Danapa identified as the new sanctuary of this endemic species, the more reason for our city to double its effort to master increasing their vegetative cover to assure protection and widen this animal's habitat. Ibayaw, Bayawan.
I had no problems working with Talarak because I have known some of them for their families for how many years. The Lizares family, the Treble family, and then I met sila Dino, the last. Well, two things. Number one, we already tapped the education sector so that an elective of 1 hour a week will be placed in the DepEd learning system so that within 5 to 6 years, when these animals will overpopulate and get out and roam around Bayawan, the population should be ready to embrace them rather than kill them or hunt them down. It's always been my dream, and I know we can achieve it, to have coffee outside my porch with a deer or a warthog or a bleeding heart pigeon beside me. Di ba nisulti sila? Kung gusto, may paraan. Kung ayaw, may dahilan. Second thing, enforcement. Okay pa ni kay land animals pamani. This will be in batches. The animals come, it's released. The next batch comes, it will be quarantined, then it will be released. What the challenge is when the birds will come. Because birds roam around. And kapitans, this is very, very important. Huh? Way back when I was board member, I had an ordinance, and Jack, maybe you can get that out. The ordinance was on how to regulate the use of air guns, which we cannot ban its ownership. The ordinance said that for you to be able to use your air gun, normally you go to a shooting range. Therefore, you have to register as a club and you have to have a permit to transport it to the shooting range. If it's not present, then we can automatically confiscate your air gun. Now, for now, I will ask the barangay captains to have a joint meeting immediately. We will implement that. At the same time, for every air gun you confiscate brought outside the home without a permit, muhatag ang bayan og 2,000. Para tanang tao, mangitag asa ng air gun nga gisuri-suro. Ha? 2,000 per confiscated air gun brought outside the house. Total, we have an ordinance that has it. Secondly, to make it more powerful and have more teeth, just adopt the wildlife law. Adopt it as an ordinance so that we can put on more penalties on those who will violate it. Ibayaw ang Bayawan.
Welcome to Bayawan City. Let's give them time to adapt and the city to prepare their natural habitat. We will be opening it to the public when everything is ready. Ibayaw ang Bayawan. Note to everyone that Danapa is not yet open to the public.